Hi there and welcome back to my channel. Guys, I'm coming back with yet another video in celebration and elevating the internal audit profession during this month of May. And for those who are new on my channel or those who just came across my video, I am CISA and I'm a certified internal auditor, and I also hold a certification in risk management assurance. Both designations were obtained through the Institute of Internal Auditors Global. And on today's video, we will be exploring or looking at the professional designations that internal auditors they should consider pursuing during their career journey. And yeah, so let's start with the first designation. So obviously, I am gonna start with the Certified Internal Auditor designation, the CIA, that is offered by the Institute of Internal Auditors. And I feel like this is one designation that all the traditional internal auditors, when I say traditional, I mean people who practice like the normal internal audit, those who are not specializing in any field like IT and forensics. So you are like an internal auditor looking at governance, risk management, and controls. That's what you do on a daily basis. So consider pursuing the CIA designation, as it is the only recognized, globally recognized designation. And it actually, asserts or cements the fact that you have the necessary knowledge, the necessary skills and expertise to actually provide internal audit services. And for me, it is some sort of like your license to practice. It gives your name that credibility to say this person is a certified internal auditor. So this means that this person, we can actually trust them and rely on them to like provide objective internal audit services with regards to obviously that particular organization's governance, risk management, and control processes. And yeah, so that's about it with regards to the CIA. We will now look at the requirements in terms of the exams. So we have the traditional and obviously the now new CIA challenge exam. So now let's look at the pricing and the requirements for you to take that exam.
The traditional CIA exam, it is a 3-part exam, and you need to complete all the 3 parts within the 3 years from the date that you get approved into the program. Minimum required experience is 2 years in internal audit and other related fields. The membership with the IIA is not required. However, if you are a member, then you get discounted fees. Then the new CIA Challenge Exam pathway, it is just one multiple choice exam. It is for qualified accountants, CISA holders, and professionals with 10 years or more experience in internal audit and other related fields. Membership with the IIA is not required. However, if you are a member, you get discounted fees. These are the fees for the traditional pathway for the CIA as well as the challenge exam. The application fee and the exam fee per exam, you will see that people who are non-members, they get to pay slightly more, if not like double the amount that the members actually pay for these exams.
Okay, guys. Now the second designation, it is the certification in risk management assurance. This is the CRMA. It is also the only globally recognized risk management assurance certification for internal auditors. So this particular exam, it basically just looks at risk management assurance and also governance assurance. So I would say that it is most suited for individuals who would actually like to be position themselves as the trusted advisors for like the board of directors and also like audit committees, because I feel like if you tap into that particular or you pursue that particular designation, then you are putting yourself, in that position to say we can actually rely on your expertise and your knowledge as far as governance and risk management are concerned. And governance structures, board of directors, at that level, people are only interested in knowing how the organization is doing, whether we are achieving our objectives, and all of those things. So I think then it is for people who would actually like to position themselves as like the trusted advisors for the board of directors and also audit committees. And it is also offered by the Institute of Internal Auditors. I'm not sure if I had mentioned that already. So yeah, let's look at the exam structure and the prizes as well.
The CRMA exam, it is just one multiple choice exam and it needs to be completed within 2 years from the date that you get approved into the program. You need 2 years in internal audit experience, and ACIA designation, it is not required, and you also don't have to be a member of the IIA. And the application and exam fee are as displayed on the screen. You can definitely see that this is a pricey exam compared to the CIA traditional pathway.
Okay, so now that we have looked at the CRMA designation, now we are going to look at professional designations or certifications that are not offered by the Institute of Internal Auditors. So the first one that I'm going to look at, it is offered by the Information Systems Audit and Control Association, and that is ISACA. They refer to themselves as a community of information technology or information systems audit professionals who are in pursuit of digital trust. So they are all things IT, information systems, those shenanigans. And they offer us the certified information systems auditor certification or designation. This is the CISA designation that I see like most people that I know, they actually, are going for this CISA designation. And this particular designation, it is designed for IT and information technology, information systems, auditors, control and assurance, and also the information security professional. The CISA designation, it basically showcases your expertise and your abilities to apply a risk-based approach to audit engagement, and it addresses innovations such as AI, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and it also ensures that the information technology and information systems auditors, they stay relevant to all the latest trends and information technology or technology advancements.
The CISA exam, it is one multiple choice exam. It is quite a long exam because I saw that you sit there for like 4 hours, and it requires 5 or more years of experience in information systems or IT audit, control assurance, etc. etc. Membership with ISACA is not required. However, if you are a non-member, you can definitely see that you will be paying more than a member of ISACA or ISACA sitting for the same exam.
So now that we have looked at the CISA designation, now I am wrapping it up with one designation that I feel like, this is one specialized designation that even the standards, they refer to us as we are not expert as far as this particular section is concerned, and that is fraud. The standards, the IIA global standards, they say we are not experts when it comes to fraud. However, our procedures and our audit engagements, they should take into account the risk of fraud. So that's what we always keep in mind, to say that our procedures, our audit engagements, which is our obviously the audits that we do, they will consider the possibility of fraud actually occurring. However, we are not experts. So if you want to be an expert as far as fraud is concerned, then you definitely need to consider pursuing the certified fraud examiner designation or certification that is offered by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. This is also a globally recognized designation and definitely equip you with the necessary skills as far as preventing, investigating, and detecting fraud are concerned. So I have went through all the professional designations, and just one thing to add to the CFE, like when I think of it and the career opportunities that it can actually, bring to you as a person and to your career, I think you should be thinking of working for the public protector, because they do have investigators. And I think when you are an internal auditor already, you are trained to kind of like think along those lines of like investigating in a way. And also, you just obtaining this designation, it will just add on to your expertise and obviously your skills as a person. So you can actually, if you would like, then pursue like an investigator role there by the public protector. Maybe one day we may have like a public protector that is also an internal audit professional. And the other institution that I can think of that you can actually maybe consider going to work at, it is like the special investigating unit, the SIU. And yeah, they also have like investigators there, like actual fraud investigators. So yeah, it has like a lot of potential, this particular designation, especially if you also gonna pair it with your internal audit professional experience as well. So yeah, guys, let us now look at obviously the structure or the requirements for this particular exam, and also the fees that are required.
The CFE exam, it is a 3 sections exam and it contains multiple choice and true and false questions. You need to be an associate member of the ACFE in good standing for you to actually apply for this exam. And to qualify for the exam, you need at least 40 points. These points are calculated based on your qualifications and your certifications. They have a list in terms of the certifications that are actually credited when you have to get points for these exams. And you also need to obtain 50 points and 2 years professional experience in order for you to obtain the designation of CFE. And there are no non-members of the ACFE who are actually allowed to take the exam, so you definitely have to be a member. I think I like this requirement because how can you be interested in obtaining a certification or professional designation from an institute that you actually do not want to be a member of? It does not make sense.
Okay, guys, so now I have looked at the 4 designations that I actually wanted to touch base on this video, which is the CIA, the CRMA, both offered by the Institute of Internal Auditors, and we then looked at the CISA certification or designation offered by ISACA, and then lastly we looked at the CFE that is offered by the ACFE. And yeah, that's all that I had for you guys today. And I will see you guys on my next video. Let us get certified, you guys. And just one thing to mention from my side is that I presented these designation in the order that in my own personal opinion, I think you should consider pursuing them in that order. Whether you are, entitled to how you actually would like to pursue them. It is just in my own personal experience, especially like from a traditional internal auditor. Like for me, it doesn't make sense for me to go pursue a CFE when I don't have a CIA. It honestly does not make sense if I am like one person who is practicing internal audit and I'm not specializing in fraud. So it would make sense for me to pursue CIA instead of CFE. So yeah, guys, that is just my own opinion when it comes to that. But thank you so much for watching. If you have, reached this part of the video, and I will see you guys on my next upload. Bye.